I'm ready to start making some pretty significant changes to this design for manufacture, bringing in the components, making sure that we have all of the restraints, mechanical fasteners, bushings, bearings in place. And I'm kind of at that jumping off point to where I don't want to fully commit myself without having a backup. So one of the tools that we can use is called Pack and Go. And right now, Pack and Go, it will include drawings. If I include toolbox components, it will pull those out of the uh, toolbox library database and make them individual pieces. So, sometimes you'll want to include the toolbox. We haven't Well, we've only done a couple of simulations, so I'm not too worried about that, and we haven't done any custom appearances and scenes. So this is the current location for all of the parts, and we're going to save to folder if I want to have a complete backup. So I wasn't sure, didn't remember if I needed to create the folders, so I went ahead and made a revision 2. So when I select that folder, be careful with the adding prefixes and suffixes that it's going to do renaming. So if we have top-down assemblies or multi-body parts, that can mess with the associativity with those links. Flattened to a single folder means that if we have sub-assemblies and sub-sub-assemblies and organized in folders, then flatten to single, flatten to minimal, or keep full folder structure. Since I don't have any subfolders, be okay with the single folder. Let's go ahead and hit save. And then the other option is if I don't want to work directly or think I'm going to be going back and forth, then we can do a pack and go. And this is probably my preferred method, is to save to a zip file. And we'll give it a date stamp. And I need to puts it into the same folder that we're in. That's fine. And we'll go ahead and save. So now I have a zip file. It has a snapshot of its current state. Before I go too much further into adding mounts for the motor, deciding if I'm going to do the pulley or the coupler, going through that next phase of design. And really, there's too many little decisions to make and a lot of hemming and hawing over what's all of the choices that get made to go through the entire video. So I may take segments of it. I'm thinking that this first housing base needs to be 2 pieces. We'll probably remove the fillet and make this a multi-body part so that I can test. And it will provide me with enough information to be able to make a determination if that's the way I want to go. And then the arms, bushings, things that I mentioned before. All right, so if we look at that folder structure then, and we come back up, now Final R2 has all of those parts in it, and without the naming, because these are all bottom up, no associativity, should be in good shape as far as the geometry. And then back in Final, we have the zip file, and I can launch the zip file, which shows me that everything has been gathered up. It gives me the, I guess I can expand out that far. I was looking for the date stamp. But basically has everything at that point. So one of those two will usually work for you depending on what you're trying to accomplish.